living for today.
Shelby, when did you first start getting interested in music?
I was probably like a young teenager. I started off listening to music in the car with my parents and stuff like that, but I started really getting into my own kind of music when I found like Led Zeppelin around the age of 14, I think.
Okay, Daniel, what about you? You're a drummer. Was that always your instrument of choice?
Oh yeah, drums were always the first option. My mom kind of made me do that with banging on everything, but I took more the traditional route with growing up playing in the church and playing in school, and then after school and college met these guys, and it's been history since.
Always an important question. Who were your influences? Who did you listen to growing up?
I listened to a lot of gospel music. My grandfather used to travel with a cappella gospel groups and then just like country bands before that. So a lot of that stuff, specifically, I really like blues rock. I think I said something about Zeppelin a minute ago, but all that 60s blues rock stuff from England, I love that. And as I've gotten older, I've started diving off into a lot of bluegrass stuff, and it's a lot if I'm going to name specifics, but it's mostly the genres,
Yeah.
you know.
Daniel, what about you? Who are your early influences?
Oh man, definitely the big names: John Bonham, Carter Buford was a huge one for me, and growing up around music, I got to see a lot of other local musicians that inspired me a lot, like Stephen Taylor from Hattiesburg. He's a big Nashville guy now, and Danny Carey, the big heavy sticks, just all the rockers. Those were my guys.
When you think about the band coming together and all that, you said you started off as a three-piece. Now you're a little bit bigger. What was the motivation to first get the band started, Shelby?
As an outlet for the songs I was writing at the time. That really. And also we were all kind of buddies, Daniel and I were playing in another band together, and Kenny and I, the original bass player for the band, we had started tinkering around with some of my songs, and so we asked if Daniel would come play with us, and it just started like that.
So tell me about how the songs come together, how you write them. Are you primarily the songwriter?
I do a lot of the lyrical writing. For me, it sort of depends. Sometimes I'll be struck with a phrase and it'll bounce around in my head for a while, and then other times, it'll bounce around in my head for a while before eventually becoming a song. And then other times I'll have just a piece of music that I thought of or something, and I'll play with it for a few months and then finally put lyrics to it. It can be really slow sometimes, it can be really fast sometimes, it just depends.
So Daniel, you've been part of the process. When the band finally gets the song, how do y'all put it together?
Well, yeah, Shelby a lot of times will show up with an idea or some sort of concept that he's been really working on and present it to us, and we just start shedding it out. And we have a good rehearsal space where we can take all the time we want to really work on things.
Shout out to the Hattiesburg Arts Center.
Yeah, right on.
This concert's going to air on January 5th, 2023, and of course going to 500,000 households on the Gulf Coast. What do you see as a future for the band, Royal Horses?
We want to keep doing sort of what we're doing, just hopefully getting a little bit bigger and a little bit better every year. Like we this year especially, we've gotten to play a lot of really cool gigs. Like one of my favorites this year has been we played the Vinyl Music Hall here in Pensacola, and that was huge. And I mean, being here is huge too. So that's what I want to do. I want to keep playing more gigs. And
so Daniel, what do you think's ahead for the band?
Oh man, I hope we keep growing. I think we will, as long as we keep our foot on the gas pedal,
Okay, well thank y'all so much, Shelby and Daniel.